Okay, so today we're going to be talking about analyzing measures of center. So at the top of the paper that you have, I want you to jot down your learning target, and your learning target looks like this. It says, I can choose the best attribute, and you might remember that we said an attribute is a description of a data set. So if you'll jot that down. Then our title of today says Analyzing Measures of Center. And then we're going to talk for just a few minutes about mean, median, and mode, because those are our measures of center. Now remember that range talks about the spread of the data. So this is analyzing measures of center. You might remember that the mean is the average of a set of data. And just as a refresher, to find the average or the mean, we add all of our data values and then we divide by how many pieces of data you have. So if you have 5 test scores, you add them all up and then you divide by the number 5 because you had 5 test scores. The median is the middle of the set of data. The key to finding the median is that you have to put them in order from least to greatest before you can do anything else. So you have to start by putting them in order from least to greatest. And then what we've been doing is we have repeatedly eliminate, which means to get rid of, the minimum and the maximum until you get to the middle. And you might remember that we said if you have 2 numbers in the middle, you can't have 2 middles, so you have to add those numbers up and then divide by 2 to get to your answer. For the mode, this is the most frequent or most common number that appears in your data set. And so this one is basically you just look for any repeated data. And if you have some that are repeated more than once, then you try to determine, are they repeated the same number of times? If they are, you can have more than one mode. You can also have no mode at all. So we're going to take a look at some data today. Feel free to pause the video as you need to. I'm going to go relatively quickly as we work through this. You are going to need your calculator. You're going to see me use a highlighter and a colored pen here in a little bit. So if you need to pause it and get those things, go for it. So this says this line plot shows the number of chocolate chips in each muffin in a package. So you know how sometimes you can buy muffins in little packages, and somebody actually went through and counted the chocolate chips in those muffins. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to find the median number of chocolate chips. Well, to find the median, we have to put them in order. So I'm going to pull the data off of my graph. Even though 1 and 2 are on the graph, there's no data there. So the first 2 numbers that I'm going to write down are 3 and 3 because there's 2 X's there. Then I'm going to write down 4, 4, 4, and 4, 5, 6, 7, and 10. We are looking for the middle number or the median number, and the middle can't be this 3 and it can't be this 10. It can't be this 3 and it can't be this 7. It can't be this 4 and it can't be 6. So I'm just going to keep eliminating. And what you see that we end up with is 2 numbers in the middle. Well, lucky for us, 4 plus 4 is just going to give me 8. And then when I divide that by 2, of course, we see that our median number is 4. So the median number of chocolate chips is 4. Then it goes on to say find the average number of chocolate chips. Average is just another word for mean. So to do that, we're going to take all those numbers that we just did up there and we're going to add them up. So we're going to do 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 and 10. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 numbers. So the average number of chocolate chips in those muffins is 5. Then it says find the mode of the set of data. I can do that by looking at the graph. I see very clearly that this is the tallest representation of the data. So the mode is 4. And it says, what does this number mean? This number is a representation of the the most common number of chocolate chips. So this is the most common number of chocolate chips, and I'm abbreviating. Okay? And then it says which measure represents the data the best and why. So if you look at this data, you can see pretty clearly that an average of 5 would be right here. And we only have 1, 2, 3 data points that are over on this side, but on this side we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So remember that the average is supposed to be the balancing point for your data. And if you look at this, it's very clear to see that that is not the balancing point. And there's a reason for that, and that's because we have this number right here. And I hope that you will remember that this is called an outlier. An outlier is a number that doesn't fit with the rest of your data. And that outlier skews your data. It makes it different than what it's supposed to look like. So, which measure represents the data the best and why? In my opinion, I think the median represents the data the best because the outlier increased the mean or the average. So if you need to pause the video to copy that down, that's fine. And then whenever you're finished with that, go on to the next video, which will do the next example with you.